Welcome back to my Warframe Zero to Hero series. This is basically a series where you get to see me go from MR0 all the way to maximum MR. Now, y'all may be thinking that this is going to be an extremely long series, and by that case, you are correct. This is going to be an extremely long series, but if y'all keep on showing love like y'all showed on my first video in this series, I will make sure that this series goes for an extremely long time so y'all can enjoy it. So if y'all haven't seen the last episode I posted, which is the first episode in this series, I'll have it linked in the description, and I will also have a playlist that has this entire series in it. So we start off this series with some temptation, because when I tell y'all I wanted Zephyr so bad, bro, and I was just looking, I had it ready to go in the foundry, I had it crafting up, and I just wondered to myself, I'm like, what would happen if I just rush it now and just get it now? But I was able to fight the urge and just continue on doing what I was doing. So our first objective starts off with crafting an Archwing launcher. So I look through my codex and I see a quest for the Odonata wings, the Odonata Archwing. So I go through and I complete that quest, and I really want to get one of these because when I'm doing open world bounties like Cetus, Fortuna, Deimos, it can be extremely helpful to have this, because instead I will show you guys a trick a little bit later on that has been helping me out a lot, but sometimes I have to pull out my K drive to get to the location, and it'll just be much more convenient if I had the Archwing. So that was my first objective, was to build this Archwing. So I finished the quest and I started using this OP iridite farming strategy. I mean, it's really not that OP. You just kind of just run in and out of Cetus following like a short route of getting iridite. But anyways, I was able to finally craft the launcher segment. But what I didn't realize is that I only had enough components to craft the launcher and not the actual launcher segment. So the launcher segment, it requires an extreme amount of oxium, which is a pain to farm without a farming frame and the stage of the game that I'm currently in. So long story short, y'all will not see me riding around on the Archwing in free roam missions anytime soon. I even tried completing the quests, but this only gave me a piece for the railjack, I think, or I don't know what it gave me, but it gave me access to the whole Odonata, but I still was not able to use it without the actual segment. So at this part of the game, I'm getting pretty far into the star chart, so I'm working on modding out my gear, because I'm starting to hit a pretty hard wall because the enemies just aren't going down as fast. I'm not doing as much damage as I once was, so I'm really trying to rectify that through the mods currently. So missions started getting a little bit more difficult, the Citrine defense, the Mars disruption, just certain assassination missions were just getting really difficult for me. So I know last video I said I was going to be doing the complete star chart solo, but I'm not gonna lie, there was a couple missions I really just wanted to get through, and I just threw it on public. I didn't necessarily seek out a squad to carry me. I just kind of put it on public, opened it up to see what would happen. So I still count it solo because I don't really have communication with my teammates, but just getting the job done, just so I can progress through the story a little bit faster and get some of the gear that I want to get quickly. So at this point in the game, I'm still MR3, but I'm absolutely blowing through the star chart. Like, I've completed so much of the star chart, I really think I have more done than not done, even though the harder levels are coming up. But, I'm blowing through star chart, just completing a whole bunch of quests, and that's really my objective for today. But once again, I noticed I was getting very, very weak. Like, there's just missions I was dying. I literally had to start aborting missions because it was taking too long to do enough damage. I'm just like, oh my god, I need to do something. I need something to change, because like, I want to make progress, but I can't because it's just not possible. Like, bro, even in this Fortuna quest, it got to the point where it was so embarrassing. I literally couldn't kill a drone, bro. So I was like, you know what? I'm done. It's time to fix it, bro. I need to do something drastic to fix my situation. And so real quick, here I am finding Lech Krill and Captain Vord. You know, Captain Vord is not really a problem. Can somebody please tell me how to kill Lech Krill? Because I mean, I saw a video talking about, you know, shooting his pipes off or whatever, but I ended up just kind of getting real close to him and just shooting him when he was invulnerable. I don't really know the secret. I just kind of bumbled my way through this mission. So just let me know in the comments what's the proper way of killing him. And so here you see me, I'm in here capturing Maru. Everybody loves Maru, right? She's free endo, she gives you Ayaten sculptures, it's just a place where you can go, trade, hang out, talk. Everybody loves Maru, so, you know, I had to go capture her real quick. So I ended up pledging to Red Veil since they have a whole bunch of Zephyr augment mods. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how useful her augment mods exactly are. I mean, I watched a couple of videos, but I haven't really looked at her augment mods too hard. I just saw that it had her and I was just like, you know what, I'm pledging Red Veil, let's do it. And so since I was really struggling with damage, I decided to do a quick Ayaten sculpture for Maru just for a little bit of endo. And let me tell you, it actually helped out a lot because a little bit of endo, like it gave me like a little over 1,000 endo. And at this point in the game, that is extremely helpful because when I don't have that much endo, I don't have a source to farm endo. So any little bit of endo is gonna help me do damage. So I'm gonna let y'all in on a little secret. I think in this video, I'm like an MR3, MR4. Currently I'm an MR5. And when I'm telling you, this Braton, look, I know it may not seem like much, but this Braton has carried me through certain parts of the star chart. And that's because of the way I've learned to mod it. So you will see me using the Braton for a long time, longer than I would like to admit, but I'm telling you, I have a new weapon coming and you will be happy once you see it. So here's where you start to see my power struggle really just go away, man, because I mean it ain't much, but man, it feels good to be able to do some missions that I wasn't able to do before, just because I really focus on the mods rather than the weapons. So that is going to be probably one of the greatest decisions I've made in this Warframe playthrough. So with my new modding skills, I was able to complete the Vox Solaris quest and unlock the entirety of Fortuna. So that led me to the Vent Kids quest, and you know, I really wanted to help him because, you know, his sister, I guess she crashed on her K drive and he's just trying to restore it to her. So it's like a nice little sweet quest that I wanted to do. But I'm not gonna lie, it got to a point where I was kind of riding around for 30 minutes on the K drive trying to complete the fall out of the sky on your K drive for 5 seconds, and I just was not able to do it for the life of me. So I just put this quest on a back burner and I will come back to it once I get an Archwing. And I don't know if the rumors are true. They say if you just fly straight up in the air with the Archwing and then you just drop down on your K drive, and then you can complete this part of the quest. But as of now, I'm not gonna be bothered with it, so I just kind of moved on from it. More Braton upgrades. And I forgot to show y'all earlier, I didn't actually complete this quest when I showed it to y'all the first time, but as you can see, the Braton upgrades are putting in work on Lech Krill, bro. So look, don't sleep on it, man. Don't sleep on it. And I just wanted to show y'all real quick, Max 3 Polarize can come in handy when you're doing these hijack missions and where you gotta use your shield to push the actual item to the location. And when you run out of shields, you can just activate your 3 and do a Polarize and get your shields back up. So just a quick, you know, little mag tip. And like I said before, the majority of this grind for today has been just pure star chart, just blowing through the star chart. As you can see, I'm unlocking another junction here. So just keep that in mind in the background. No matter what I'm showing you, I'm always doing a star chart mission here, star chart mission there. So hopefully I can complete it all pretty soon. But like I said earlier, I am still having troubles with damage. As you can see, this disruption mission on Mars, I'm still not able to complete it even with all my Braton upgrades. But y'all will see, it gets better soon. But I think I just got really unlucky here. You know, the guy, he got a speed boost and I don't have any lockdown abilities right now so to deal with him. So he just kind of ran to the conduit and just blew it up. So I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna abort and do this later. I'm probably gonna do it when I have so much power to the point where I can one-shot him. But you know, that's just me. So y'all already know where I went after this defeat. I don't really gotta say too much about this. And real quick, I know I may not be like your #1 go-to person to come to when it comes to modding in this game, but just real quick, just a quick tip if you're having trouble, especially for my early gamers out there, just go online, go to Google and look up something like Warframe element guide, right? And these two pictures will pop up. So the first one, it tells you which enemy types are weak to which elements types. And so you can kind of build your builds around this. Be like, oh yeah, you know, Corpus is weak to magnetic or whatever. And so you'd be like, oh, how do I make magnetic? And then you use this picture to figure out how to make magnetic. So just use these two pictures, especially when you're starting out, until you get used to it. You'll be like, huh, I'm about to go against Grenier. What are they weak against? Oh, they're weak against corrosive. So how do I build corrosives? Oh, heat, electric. You know, just use these, you know, help you out a little bit. And just as a real quick update, I did complete the Europa junction in this part of the video. So, you know, just keep y'all up to date on the star chart progression. So, you know, like I said, my Braton got a couple of upgrades, so I went to go back and test my luck with the 3-headed boss on Deimos. And would you look at that? I actually was able to kill him this time, so that's a plus for me. So after I beat that boss, I was like, why not test my luck and do that Mars disruption mission? And once again, you know, I tested my luck and I did good. So, and one thing about doing this mission, I started using my polarize a lot more on mag. So just remember, if you want to armor strip, when the enemies have that yellow health bar, that means that they're a lot harder to kill basically. So I just started armor stripping them with her polarize, which is her 3. And I was able to melt down the disruptors pretty quickly. And I did not do that the first time, but I'm pretty sure even if I did do it the first time, they still wouldn't go down that quickly because my Braton was so bad. But here in this clip, my Braton was pretty upgraded and I was able to get the job done. And now here is a rarity that you get to see for the first time in this video. Now this is the first time in this video that you have seen me complete an assassination target on the first try. And it feels so good. I mean, it did take me a little longer than usual, but once I figured out the mechanics and once I figured out that you had to kill the hound first and then him, you know, completed it first try. Feels good. We're moving on. And of course, another assassin mission fail. But you know, y'all are used to that by now. You know, you live, you learn. I will say the reason why I failed this one, I mean, you could say it was lack of damage. Yeah, it was lack of damage, but I ran out of ammo. And I was actually doing pretty good on time in this mission, but you know, when you run out of ammo in your main gun, what are you gonna do? So let's talk about trading. First and foremost, one thing that I did not know is that you cannot trade your first 50 plat in this game. So I was just trying to get some upgrades and really just max my guns out so I can get farther in the star chart quicker. But you can't trade your first 50 free platinum. And so once I saw that message, it just lit a fire under me, and it started the trader in my head, bro. So I went to go and make some trades for 20 plat here, 20 plat there. So I'm not gonna show all the trades, but I will show you the first one I made. So my very first trade was Gauss Prime Systems for 20 plat. Now listen, I know it's not recommended that you sell items that aren't in a complete set, but you know, and Gauss Prime, I actually want the entire frame, but it's just that right now I don't need them. I can't do anything with them. I need mods. So I decided, you know, put the pride aside, put the Gauss Prime aside, make a little bit of sacrifice, sold the Gauss Prime, and ended up with a galvanized mod that was going to help my Braton immensely. So now look, I love trading in Warframe, and I can make a whole standalone video about trading for like 15-20 minutes, but I'm not gonna go too in-depth into it right now. But one of the things that I didn't really mention is that on the side, I've been leveling up all of my weapons. I've been buying blueprints just so I can keep the XP on my mastering rank, so I can keep my mastery rank as high as possible, as quick as possible, so I can unlock more daily trades, so I can make more platinum. And I will get into that a little bit later on. But as you can see, I couldn't contain myself and I rushed my Zephyr for 50 plat. Now, I don't regret it that much, and I kind of do, and let me tell you why. So when I rush Zephyr is very bad early game, bro. Do not use her very early game because her energy consumption is terrible early game. So I'm going to try and rectify that, and you'll see that throughout later on in the series. But the main reason why I don't regret it is because what else am I going to use a 50 plat for that I can't trade? So a lot of people say use it on Warframe slots, use it on weapon slots. I disagree, because at this point in the game, you can just delete your weapons and buy new ones and max them out and delete the maxed out ones and just kind of cycle through that until you're like MR7, MR8. Like, I have enough XP to last me till MR7, MR8. And by that time, I plan on having a better build for my Zephyr that can help me make more plat. So really, I'm really getting into the plat making, but that's really why I rush my Zephyr, you know. And don't get me wrong, I've been trying everything in my power to fix her energy consumption. Like, as you can see in the video, I'm literally hunting for Panzervulpaphilas because I'm just trying to, you know, get that synth fiber, synth deconstruct combo going with the health orbs. I will talk about all of this stuff later, but just know I've tried the Panzer, I've tried the synth mods, I've tried a lot of things, and it's just the Kavats don't work well with Zephyr. You know, Zephyr's fast moving, she's in the air a lot, and especially since I don't have the mod Fetch, which only drops from Fortuna Hounds. You know, we can get into all the technicalities. Just know the companions are going to be a lot easier, so that's just a hint of what's coming next up in this series. But just for now, just know I'm doing everything in my power to fix her energy consumption. So y'all have probably noticed in the background that Zephyr's damage and survivability without energy is pretty low, so I just opted to abort out of this mission and try it again with Mag. And so I was able to breeze through on Mag, and I will say that Mag, I opted to do this a lot more because going forward I couldn't really play Zephyr at the stages of the game I was in. I really had to just play Mag and get through it because she's a lot better with a lower amount of investment into her build. So she's a lot better with less mods, basically. So here is where we start to get to the real fun part of the game, the part of the game that I've been yearning to get to, and that is the main storyline quest. And so right around here, you know, Lotus just starts acting a little bit iffy, and you know, we are going to have to explore the Lotus's shenanigans next episode, because if I start now, there's way much to unveil. Oh, and just to be clear, there will be spoilers if you have not figured that out already. So, yep, this concludes episode 2 of Zero to Hero. So, man, if y'all watched all the way to the end, go ahead and drop a like. And if you want to see episode 3, which is coming out very soon, go ahead and sub for that. And since y'all have made it this far, I'm going to give y'all a little bit of, you know, sneak peek to what's going on. I'll be getting some new weapons in the next episode. I'll have new builds, and I'll have a lot more completed than what I have now. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see y'all in the next one.